Hello and welcome. We are right now bang in the middle of India's worst ever health crisis. Corona cases today have crossed 260,000. That means we are likely to hit 3 lakh cases this week. Deaths are also at a record high, and remember, this is when the state administration is so overloaded that we don't even have a real picture of how many people are dying of COVID. At this time, we must look for how we can all come together on one platform to look for solutions for every Indian citizen. Joining us on the Solutions Summit as we talk about India versus COVID are 4 states' health ministers, states which are all battling record highs once again. I'm joined by KK Shelja first, Health Minister of Kerala. Ms. Shelja, thank you for being on the Solutions Summit. Ma'am, Kerala has really, in a sense, the first corona case in India came from Kerala. You have been at the forefront of battling this pandemic. It was once called a success story. Then we saw record highs. Again, cases came down and now they're going up again. What is the big lesson you'd like to tell health ministers from other states, the people who are watching tonight? How do we actually battle this pandemic the way Kerala has for over 1 year now?
As you mentioned here, Kerala had one of the long-drawn pandemic. It started in January 30th, and throughout this 1 year and 2 months it is going on. The first part, we contained the virus properly and flattened the curve to the 0 level. Our slogan was to delay the peak. As you all know, peak will occur. The behavior of virus is like that. It is a highly infectious virus, and the peak will occur definitely. But we tried our best to delay the peak in the first phase, and we had a good result out of that. And even though, as you said, the virus occurred in Kerala first, but the peak occurred the last time or later. The other states' peak occurred earlier than Kerala, but our peak occurred later. Again, we tried our best, and we adopted some strategy to curb the peak. And we adopted 3 main strategies to slow down or flatten the curve. One is the break the chain campaign, the SMS campaign of that using soap or sanitizer and wearing mask and also keeping social distance. And also the reverse quarantine for above 60 people. And we adopted that strategy well. And the testing strategy also, we didn't any omission. We didn't have any omission of the symptomatic cases. In each and every symptomatic cases, we tested well. And in the periphery, in the grassroots level, we insisted our field level workers to find out each and every influenza-like illness and also severe acute respiratory infection, even severe cold or like that. And every symptomatic cases we tested well. Because of that, again we can flatten this peak or curve, and we had a good result out of that. Throughout this time, the great achievement Kerala got is our mortality rate is 0.4. The first part it is 0.5 during the first time when lockdown was there, March 24 to May 3rd, the mortality rate was 0.5. And after that, when the lockdown was lifted, the mortality rate increased slight. It go up to 0.7, and we acted well. We again worked hard to reduce the mortality rate, and we have a very good advancement in our health system capacity. We increased our ventilators and also ICU beds and even beds in the government hospitals.
I think
and
that really
we collaborated
is
with
key,
the
ma'am,
private.
because in Kerala you don't see the scenes we're seeing, which we saw from Maharashtra, Mumbai, Delhi. In fact, Sanket, I think Rajesh Tope is joining us, Maharashtra's health minister now. That how do we mortality rate, because if patients are not rushing to hospitals, if hospitals are not overloaded, oxygen, remdesivir, those are the heartbreaking scenes. Sanket.
Yes, Mr. Tope, thank you very much for joining us on this Solutions Summit. मैं आपसे एक सवाल ये पूछना चाहता हूं कि जिस तरीके से महाराष्ट्र और केरल, ये 2 ऐसे राज्य हैं तोपे जी, जिसमें हमने देखा कि मामले बहुत तेजी से बढ़े हैं और लगातार यहीं से शुरुआत हुई है और उसके बाद हमने देखा है कि वो देश भर में और राज्यों में फैले हैं। महाराष्ट्र ने पहली जो लहर थी वो देखी, अब दूसरी लहर भी, अब लगभग ये अनुमान लगाया जा रहा है कि और 10-15 दिन में महाराष्ट्र के मामले धीरे धीरे अपनी पीक की ओर जा रहे हैं। क्या सीख है आपकी, और आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या सुझाव दिए जा सकते हैं बाकी राज्यों को, क्योंकि यहीं से शुरू होता है?
एक्सक्यूज मी, मुझे थोड़ा सुनाई नहीं दिया, लास्ट क्वेश्चन सुनाई नहीं दिया
जी। तोपे जी,
वेव इतना, हाँ,
मेरी आवाज आई?
स्टूडियो, हाँ, थोड़ा आवाज जोर से आना चाहिए
जी।
आवाज
मैं आपसे सवाल एक बार फिर से पूछता हूं और जोर से बोलता हूं ताकि आपको सुनाई दे जाए। मेरा यह कहना है कि केरल और महाराष्ट्र दो ऐसे राज्य हैं जहां से सबसे पहले ये मामले बढ़ने शुरू होते हैं और उसके बाद हम देखते हैं बाकी सब राज्यों में फैलते हैं। महाराष्ट्र में तो खास तौर से हमने यही देखा है, प्रथम लहर में भी और द्वितीय लहर में भी। क्या ऐसी सीख है, क्या ऐसे समाधान हैं जो कि हम महाराष्ट्र से सीख ले सकते हैं और राज्यों के लिए?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है सबसे अहम बात यह है कि इसमें जो भी प्रोटोकॉल्स है वो प्रोटोकॉल्स बहुत स्ट्रिक्टली फॉलो होना चाहिए और वो ऑनेस्टली और ट्रांसपेरेंटली होना चाहिए। मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि जरूर महाराष्ट्र में नंबर्स ज्यादा है, थोड़ा वेस्टर्न एरिया, अगर हम कन्याकुमारी से कश्मीर तक अगर हम सीधी लाइन खींचते हैं तो एक जरूर ध्यान में आता है कि वेस्टर्न साइड को बहुत ज्यादा है। कभी ऐसा भी हमें सुनाई दिया है कि सेंट्रल टीम ने यह भी कहा है कि थोड़ा वेस्टर्न एरिया में एपिडेमिक कभी भी जब भी आया है तो थोड़ा उसका असर ज्यादा हुआ हो सकता है, वो भी एक प्रॉब्लम हो सकता है। लेकिन एक जरूर है कि हम बहुत ट्रांसपेरेंट रह चुके हैं, एक भी एक्टिव केस या एक भी डेथ हमने कोई छुपाने का कोई वजह भी नहीं है। बहुत क्लियरली हम लोगों से भी और भारत सरकार से भी रहे हैं। रहा सवाल जो सीख लेना चाहिए, वो इतना ही मैं बोलूंगा कि जो भी उन्होंने गाइडलाइन दी है, जो प्रोटोकॉल्स दिए है, 3T प्रिंसिपल हमने बहुत रिलीजियसली फॉलो किया है टू कंटेन द वायरस। पहले इसमें भी हमने बिल्कुल फ्लैटन द कर्व किया था, महाराष्ट्र में सिर्फ 2000-1500 के ऊपर मामले निकल नहीं रहे थे। लेकिन अभी ये सेकेंड सर्ज में बहुत ज्यादा उसका हमने, यानी हो सकता है कि हमने बहुत ज्यादा उसमें ढील भी दी थी। जब 3-4 महीने इतना कम था तब हमने बहुत ढील दी थी। हमने सब कुछ खोल।
तोपे जी, मैं सोनिया सिंह और शैलजा जी, a question for both of you. Just if you are today an ordinary Indian who wants to get a hospital bed in Maharashtra, who wants to get Remdesivir in Maharashtra, who wants to get even Fabiflu in Maharashtra. The point is, Tope ji, ki politicians always say ki protocol people should follow. But when you had a chance, when Maharashtra's cases were down, why didn't the government do enough to make sure that you had everything in place if a second wave like this came? The warning had already come. India had already been through one wave. Why were we not prepared? Did we think ki India और Maharashtra में there won't be a second wave? हमने देखा है कि United States में, Europe में, in developed countries a second wave has come. Why would it not come in India? Why were we not ready, Tope ji? And what have you learned as health minister from this pandemic?
You see, your question is quite a valid question. Only thing is, no one could imagine the strength of this wave or the volume of this wave. This is really like 60,000 cases coming up daily. We had never thought of.
Dr. Shashank Joshi, जो आपके टास्क फोर्स के हेड है, he had come on NDTV in February कि R rate जा रहा है, double mutant variation is coming in Maharashtra. So the doctors were warning this.
No, let me complete everything whatever I want to say.
Yes.
Second point is, you see, all the 7 manufacturers of Remdesivir, when they came to the conclusion that now the totally curve is flattened and 1,500 cases are totally daily coming from Maharashtra, and so they immediately reduced their production of Remdesivir. And that it is because they reduce their production, and if we want to increase the production, then again they have to have the second batch, which takes at least 21 days. Mm-hmm. There is no shortage of time in that. There is no shortcut in that, and that is the reason why we are not able to get enough Remdesivir injections in time. That is one point. Secondly, we had whatever is the capacity, because it is not that an oxygen plant can be built up in a overnight. So liquid oxygen, whatever is available in Maharashtra, we had totally shut down the industries. we had given 100% of our oxygen, 1500 metric tons, to the medicine purpose only. And so in oxygen, what else we can do? We are now shifting to oxygen generator plants. We are shifting to oxygen concentrator plant equipments. So we are doing our level best in oxygen as well as in remdesivir. Even the beds, there were only some 100,000 sub beds in Maharashtra in the first surge, but now we are having at least 5 lakhs of beds available in Maharashtra. We have built up with the field hospital. We have built up with the number of beds we had ramped up like anything.
But
and
see,
so,
right now, देखिए तोपे जी, अभी प्रॉब्लम ये है, एक तोपे जी, हमने आपकी बात सुन ली. प्रॉब्लम असली ये हुई कि कोई भी राज्य हो, चाहे महाराष्ट्र या कोई और राज्य, द रिस्पॉन्स सीम्स टू बी रिएक्शनरी. आपने प्रीएम्प्ट नहीं किया, आपने रिएक्ट किया है. हर राज्य जो है वो रिएक्ट कर रहा है कि मामले बढ़ गए, उसके बाद रिएक्शन हो रहा है कि चलो अब इसका प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा दें, उसका बढ़ा दें. ये चीज पहले सोची होती, a certain amount of pre-planning would have helped. I want to take this question to Miss K.K. Shailja. Miss Shailja, would you agree or would you not that the foresight to be able to see a second wave coming, the point that Sonia was making just a short while ago, is something that we collectively missed? We assumed that there will be no second wave.
Yes, sir. We anticipated that a second wave will occur because we study about this virus properly. But we want to delay the peak once again, but because of this election and other things, I think it happened a little bit earlier. But we prepared for that, and we throughout this 1 year we were improving our health system capacity, and we increased our ICU beds, our ventilators, and our oxygen availability, etc. And only 20% of our ventilators were occupied now, and the others are free. And also ICU beds only below 50% is occupied now. But now also we are increasing ventilators and ICU beds once more, because we cannot predict how much extent it will go, the surge will go. So we are making more strength in the health system, and we are installing more ventilators and more ICU beds and even more beds. And also COVID first line treatment center, once when the graph become flattened or a downward trend occur, we closed some of our COVID first line treatment centers and COVID second line treatment centers. Now we are again opening that COVID second line treatment centers and first line treatment centers. No. Even in the village, in the panchayat, we opened a domiciliary care center for the patients.
Yes, ma'am. In fact, I think that planning is really exemplary, and Kerala has the advantage of having had focus on health infrastructure for the last decade. So unlike other states like UP and Bihar, we don't see the same problems. But even for Kerala, ma'am, and I wanted to ask you that at one time Kerala was amongst the highest cases going up, even though mortality rate was low. Even now, Kerala's cases are rising again. But yet we saw in recent election campaigns, we don't see the Kerala model being different from, say, the Bengal model or the Assam model. Politicians are out campaigning as if COVID doesn't exist. What is the message you're sending out to the ordinary citizen of India? The Chief Minister is recovering from COVID. We're very happy to hear that. Leaders of opposition like Mr. Oommen Chandy, all senior citizens are all getting COVID. And now we've heard that you have given permission for the festival of Thrissur Poonam to go ahead. Now we're talking about what we just saw happening at the Mahakumbh. How can we allow crowded festivals at a time when we are going to be touching 3 lakh cases this week?
Yes, we are again going to stringent activities, but because of the lifting of the lockdown and easing, we cannot take so much extent of stringent activities, and we have to protect livelihood also, not only lives. That is why we cannot again establish this triple lockdown, etc. But we are again going to campaign like back to basics, that back to basics of the principles of break the chain, etc., and reverse quarantine, etc. We are now implementing with the help of the local self-government. Again, we are implementing strict quarantine and this kind of stringent activities. And most of the 85% of people are wearing masks. You can see that. But
go ahead, surely
even leaders are getting the...
Why let Thrissur Poonam go ahead at this point? Surely the life is more important than sentiment of festivals.
Yes. No, yeah, we give permission to Thrissur Puram when there is a downward trend in the virus of the virus. But again, the second wave occurred here. At that time, we are insisting that no one can come to Thrissur Puram without a COVID negative certificate and also vaccination certificate. And we are again giving restrictions to Thrissur Puram. And the other ritual activities, we cannot stop it fully because it started earlier. But we are insisting the stringent measures to stop large crowd for the Thrissur Puram. And we are giving awareness to the people of that. And one thing is positive here, that even if the graph is higher this time, again the mortality rate didn't increase, that is 0.4%. We are now sticking on to save the lives of the people, to have no increase in the mortality rate, and that is why we are training and we are giving refresh course for the health community, all the officers and even field staff, to reduce the mortality.
Absolutely.
I am enthusiastic that we can
two more health ministers
keep the mortality rate below 5%.
Correct, correct. Yes, yes. And we have two more health ministers now. In fact, one more health minister, and we also have Rajya Sabha MP of the Trinamool Congress, Mr. Derek O'Brien, and the Health Minister of Rajasthan, Mr. Raghu Sharma, is also with us. Thank you very much. It is very important to know and talk solutions. Raghu ji, मैं सबसे पहले आपके पास आना चाहता हूँ. राजस्थान का क्या तजुर्बा रहा है? आपने देखा है कि मामले वहाँ पर भी बढ़े हैं, तेजी से बढ़े हैं. ये वो राज्य है जिसने भीलवाड़ा मॉडल दिया था और उसकी बड़ी बात हुई थी, उसकी बड़ी बड़ाई भी हुई थी, लेकिन उसके बाद फिर मामले लगातार बढ़ते रहे. तो मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि कहां चूक हुई और कैसे स्थिति ठीक होगी.
संकेत जी, 1 अप्रैल तक तो हमारे कंट्रोल में था सारी चीजें. यहाँ पे करीब 2000 पॉजिटिव केसेस पहले अप्रैल को थे, लेकिन उसके बाद ये लगातार बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. कल पॉजिटिव केसेस का आंकड़ा 9000 के करीब पहुंचा और आज की लेटेस्ट रिपोर्ट ये है कि 10,500 केसेस हमारे पॉजिटिव आज अकेले एक दिन में आए. हमारी मृत्यु दर भी निरंतर बढ़ती जा रही. हमारे पिछली बार जब पीक था तो 20 मैक्सिमम डेथ हुई थी एक दिन में. अब हमारी डेथ 42 है आज एक दिन के अंदर. हमारे यहाँ ऑक्सीजन जनरेशन के प्लांट्स हमने लगाए, सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल्स में लगाए. रेमडेसिविर और टोसिलिजुमेब, ये जो इंजेक्शंस थे, ये हम फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट दे रहे हैं, लेकिन अभी इनकी शॉर्टेज हो रही है. 3 कंपनियां, माइलेन, सिप्ला और कैडिला, इनसे हमारा रेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट था, लेकिन अब वो देने में आनाकानी कर रही है. हमारे जो ऑक्सीजन की खपत है वो भी बढ़ती जा रही है, क्योंकि जब एक्टिव केसेस लगभग 65,000 से 70,000 के करीब एक्टिव केसेस हो गए राज्य में और ज्यादातर लोगों को ऑक्सीजन सपोर्ट की जरूरत पड़ रही है. ऐसी परिस्थिति में जो हमारे आयोनेक्स जो भिवाड़ी में था, वहां से हम ऑक्सीजन की, लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई लेते थे. हमने लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन के प्लांट भी 6 जगह लगाए हैं, लेकिन अब भारत सरकार ने पूरे कंट्री का मैनेजमेंट ऑक्सीजन का अपने हाथ में ले लिया और उन्होंने जिस ढंग से ऑक्सीजन का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन किया है और जो चार्ट बना के दिया है, अभी कैबिनेट की मीटिंग से ही मैं आ रहा हूँ, हम लोगों ने मंथन किया पूरा. ऑक्सीजन की हमारी जरूरत ज्यादा है और हमें ऑक्सीजन की जो कैप उन्होंने लगाई है वो पर्याप्त नहीं है. अगर हमारे पास पर्याप्त ऑक्सीजन नहीं होगी तो मैं समझता हूं कि आने वाले समय में बहुत दिक्कतें राजस्थान में भी आएगी. पिछली बार से और अब की बार के स्ट्रेन में बहुत बड़ा अंतर यह है कि पिछली बार यंग जनरेशन अछूती थी. अब जो कैजुअलिटीज हो रही है वो हम देख रहे हैं कि ज्यादा यंग जनरेशन उनकी डेथ हो रही है. और
Absolutely, and it's heartbreaking. In fact, आपने जो कहा रघु शर्मा जी, very important point. I'd like to bring in Rajesh Tope ji in on this. It's actually, when we are watching this, Tope ji, it is so sad to see that some states are saying, pehle it was about the number of vaccines that were being given, that Gujarat was getting the same number as Maharashtra. Now it's about oxygen. Now it's about remdesivir. There seems to be so much politics. Even at a time like this, yesterday, Uddhav Thackeray ji said that he called the Prime Minister and he was busy campaigning in Bengal. Isn't it possible to leave the politics out of this at this time? We've seen Devendra Fadnavis yesterday, a fight at a police station over remdesivir, that the BJP says they'll distribute remdesivir. Devendra Fadnavis ji reaches the police station. and the state government asked, and in this case I would think rightly, that why is an opposition party distributing remdesivir? Why is there so much politics, and is that part of the problem, that you are in Mumbai, people must be ringing you up non-stop and asking, what do you tell people who say that our relations are losing their lives and politicians are doing politics?
Basically, one thing is very clear, there should not be any politics in epidemic-like situation. There shouldn't be, and there is no politics, what I think also. But yes, of course, there is like whatever the demands the states are making to the central, that should be provided, as that is the mandate of the government of India. Suppose in vaccination, our capacity is 8 lakhs vaccines per day, because we are having more than 4,200 centers for vaccination. We are having all the resources in place in these all 4,200 centers, like doctors, trained staff nurses, and also the cold chain facility, everything in place. So we are utilizing only 50% of our capacity. That is, we are getting 3 lakhs. So we are utilizing 3 lakhs every day. So what I think is, like, as Maharashtra is badly suffered, is having more number of patients on the bed, and also a bigger state as compared to the other states. So accordingly, the proportionate amount of vaccine should be given. So it's a very legitimate demand which the state government is making. There is nothing like koi vaad vivad wali paristhiti nahi hai. There is nothing like infighting between the state government and the government of India. It's our legitimate demand, and with that we are placing. But in some media, they are showing that there is an infighting.
Right.
But of course, because of the scarcity of the remdesivir, we have made a proper protocol how to distribute. Like, only the collector should have a control on the distribution of remdesivir to the patients, to the private hospital as well. So the FDI, the Food Drugs India Authority, also has in every district there is an inspector, and so the collector and the inspector jointly should ensure the equitable and proper appropriate distribution of remdesivir. So no party should intervene in the distribution system of the. And if some party intervenes, then I think it is not in law, and it does not it's not like following the rule.
Correct.
So these types of things happens when there is a deficit in between the demand and supply.
करेक्ट, ये एक महत्वपूर्ण बात आप बोल रहे हैं, और इसी से जुड़ा हुआ, क्योंकि ये पूरा उद्देश्य इस कार्यक्रम का, डेरेक ओब्रायन इज नाउ आल्सो विद अस, इस पूरे कार्यक्रम का उद्देश्य है समाधान ढूंढना, सॉल्यूशंस, टू फाइंड सॉल्यूशंस. Derek O'Brien, I want to come to you. The former Prime Minister of the country, Dr. Manmohan Singh, today has written a letter to the Prime Minister where he has listed out 5 solutions. And I think it's great that the former Prime Minister is talking about solutions at a time like this, where the main focus of his letter is decentralization, that states be empowered more to be able to manage vaccines. What's your suggestion?
Firstly, you have to, before you look for solutions, you also have to look for, identify the problem. Please, 2 very important pieces of communication in February of 2021. Number 1, the MEA were patting the Prime Minister of India on the back for vaccine Maitri. Modi was building his brand image internationally and giving out 65 million vaccines, while 52 million vaccines are in India. And my state in West Bengal, or like yesterday what we saw in Maharashtra, we have not got our vaccine. So the first solution is stop doing your brand, oops, my specs are clouding anyway. Stop doing your brand building and your megalomania management and focus on the vaccine. Number 2, Bharatiya Janata Party had again written a resolution in February of 2021. Greatest country in the world, greatest Prime Minister in the world, stop doing that. Stop massaging your own ego and get to the job. That's 2, solution 2. You see, when you screw up, you have to take the responsibility. You all are discussing with all these states and health minister here. No. Straight up, Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi, 3 priorities in their lives: vaccine, vaccine, vaccine. Who is going to tell this to Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah? Opposition parties, their own colleagues. You heard what his minister in the government asked for a vaccine and he was told to delete his tweet. This is a serious issue. We gave a solution. As a political party. We said you club the 3 phases together into 1 phase. But the umpire said no. So Mr. Modi, you all ran that clip yesterday. He's celebrating. So many people have come to my rally. Modi and Shah have to set the example. That is the first solution. Stop passing the buck. Former Prime Minister wrote, my Chief Minister, let me just finish. Let me finish my news piece, then I'll take your question, ma'am, Miss Sonia Singh. The Chief Minister of Bengal, a few hours ago, has written to the Prime Minister saying that there are no more vaccines left in Bengal. Please supply vaccines to Bengal. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Derek, I was just going to ask you, but I know it's in the middle of a heated political campaign, and I would agree with you that clubbing phases, elections, festivals can all wait at this time. But just to ask, Rahul Gandhi today said that I won't hold any more public rallies, and I hope that other parties take a cue from this and actually stop holding these huge public rallies. We know the Chief Minister has continued her rally and roadshows, as has the BJP there as well. Also, the point being that the Chief Minister has actually stayed away from the last 2 meetings the Prime Minister has had with different Chief Ministers. So whereas politics is in its place, surely on something like health, like Corona, everyone should all come together on one platform to look for solutions? Will the TMC stop campaigns after Rahul Gandhi said this?
I was waiting for this question, because how this con man known as Narendra Modi, now I'm going to give you 7 dates. 7 dates. You must listen to my 7 days, because he said Chief Minister stayed away from 3 meetings. Right? Who set up a 21-day lockdown with 4 hours notice? Mamata Banerjee and Uddhav Thackeray, right? Who asked you to bang a thali? Mamata Banerjee, Uddhav Thackeray, Akhilesh Yadav, Tejasvi Yadav, and the Kerala Chief Minister, right? Number 3, who asked you to light a candle for 9 minutes? Who asked you, who told you in 21 days everything will be well? Who patted himself on the back through the MEA and his own political party saying everything had been done? Modi, who put his photograph on the vaccination certificate? Who? Mamata Banerjee? Uddhav Thackeray, the Kerala Chief Minister? No, Modi. Now you should put your picture on the death certificate. You're asking me questions about why Mamata Banerjee. What is this? Yesterday he had another photo opportunity. He's saying that he came and campaigned in Bengal all day, and then at 8 o'clock goes for a photo opportunity. Mamata Banerjee will not encourage Modi, will join Mr. Modi's PR firm for his photo opportunities, also known as meetings. Thus, the blame, who kept Parliament open for the Madhya Pradesh government? Who did not take the states into confidence? Who did not take? Only later, when you want to take the credit, pal, then it's you. And when you want to pass the buck, then it's the states. This is not cooperative federalism. This is known as Mosha-Faf federalism. The buck stops with Modi and Shah, and stop diverting this from anywhere else. Modi and Shah did not get their act together in Parliament in March. They were wasting everyone's time, and now they're passing the buck to Maharashtra.
But what about Rahul Gandhi's appeal to other political parties to stop the campaigns in Bengal?
You see, this is like saying you have an umpire. Listen, the umpire has made the rules. They want to win Bengal desperately. So are you suggesting, Miss Sonia Singh, what are you suggesting?
Nothing,
that only
Mr. Derek O'Brien.
We didn't make the rules.
Nothing, Mr. Bryan.
Miss Sonia Singh, what are you suggesting? No, what are you suggesting to me? You're talking about a political party. I have no comment to make on what Mr. Gandhi did or not did. The Congress and the left alliance in Bengal are in the match for 10 seats. We are fighting 294 seats. Okay. You're comparing us. Should we just, let me tell you then what we should do. Let me tell you. We shall all start campaigning. We'll stop campaigning. We'll come, we'll sit down, and we'll allow this Modi and Shah, who head the world's most destructive force, to come and campaign because they're shameless. They're shameless hypocrites. They're thugs.
Sanket, I think
And you're going to allow the thugs we're going to allow Bengal to become Gujarat. We will not allow Bengal to become Gujarat.
Sure.
Why should we? So we will sit down. Listen, Miss Singh, listen to me. I'm not shouting. Hear me out. Just hear me out. Simple solution. We are a political party. We don't set the rules. It's like telling a batsman, you can only hit on the offside. Hurry, we can't. We've got 6-7 days of campaigning left. We understand this.
Okay, understood.
We told the election commission.
Sure.
But the election commission is in the back pocket of Amit Shah and Modi. I have to ask a very serious question.
I think
Where is the third election commissioner?
I think the point.
My
has been
solution
made
for
very, very
COVID.
clearly.
My one-line solution for COVID.
Very quickly,
Mr.
Upadhyay.
Upadhyay.
Mr. Upadhyay. My one-line solution for COVID, it's a very serious issue. What happened in Maharashtra? BJP themselves are handling all those medicines, Remdesivir, all has been done by BJP. The solution is this. Only one simple solution. Modi, Shah, look into the mirror tonight before you go to sleep. You have blood on your hands. Constitution and the people of India come first before your bloody manifesto.
Okay.
We'll have Himanta Biswa Sarma soon on
Yeah,
that. But
maybe
go
we
ahead,
can
Sanket.
ask him these questions, and if Mr. O'Brien agrees, maybe they can ask these questions
Sad,
of
it's so
one
sad,
another.
You know, sometimes.
Sure.
You know, Mr.
Okay.
Upadhyay and Ms. Singh, you all are looking for solutions. I understand and appreciate that. I have run out of words.
No, but then
But
we
let's-
still have
let's
to
just
try.
go to the other
It is
health
so
ministers.
sad.
We
One-
just come back.
One
But
still
let's
has
just
to
go the
try
other
to
health
look for
ministers
solutions
now.
because as of
What
this
health
moment,
minister?
While
What
it is
health
equally
minister?
important-
Let's just go to
What
the other
health
health
minister?
ministers who are
Only,
waiting, Sanket,
only
while-
NDTV.
Let's just go to the other
No,
health
no,
ministers.
I want to tell you, don't blame the health minister.
We have to ask
Don't
them.
blame the health
blaming
minister. Blame Modi and Shah. Why can't they come and take a press conference and give these solutions?
Okay.
Where are my vaccines
Raghu
for Bengal?
Sharma.
Why are you politicizing Maharashtra?
ओके रघु शर्मा, मैं आपके पास आना चाहता हूं।
बकवास।
आपने सुना डेरेक ओब्रायन ने क्या कहा? राजनीति हो रही है और इससे कोई मुकर ही नहीं सकता, बिल्कुल हो रही है। और हम देख रहे हैं किस तरीके से राज्य और केंद्र जो है वो एक दूसरे के साथ, महाराष्ट्र के संदर्भ में तोपे जी हैं वो उसका जवाब दे रहे हैं, राजस्थान के संदर्भ में भी तरह तरह की बातें हुई। लेकिन मकसद इस कार्यक्रम का सिर्फ और सिर्फ समाधान ढूंढना है। आप ठीक है, आप जिम्मेदार ठहरा दें, लोगों को जिम्मेदार ठहराना भी चाहिए, लेकिन जिम्मेदारी से आज अगर किसी की जान बच रही है या किसी को सिलेंडर मिल जा रहा है ऑक्सीजन का, तो हम कस के जिम्मेदार ठहराते हैं लोगों को, लेकिन वो नहीं हो रहा ना। इसीलिए मेरी आपसे अपील ये है कि क्या समाधान हो आज की डेट में। आपको वो क्या 4 या 5 चीज राजस्थान की सरकार केंद्र सरकार से चाहती है या उम्मीद रखती है?
देखिए, नंबर 1 कि वैक्सीनेशन जो इस महामारी से बचाता है आम आदमी को, हमारी तैयारी क्या है, हर राज्य की तैयारी का वो पता कर ले। हमारी तैयारी हमने उनको बता दी कि 7 लाख वैक्सीन पर डे हम लगा सकते हैं। हमने जो स्टोरेज के पॉइंट डेवलप किए वो सारी जानकारी केंद्र सरकार के पास है। राजस्थान ने जो साइट्स डेवलप की है उसकी जानकारी हमारे पास सारी भारत सरकार को दे दी गई। अब सवाल ये है, 7 लाख डोज पर डे हम लगा सकते हैं, और जो बेनिफिशियरी उन्होंने की अब 45 ईयर्स, वो 2 करोड़ 9 लाख लोगों को हमको वैक्सीनेट करना था। अब उसके हिसाब से हमको वैक्सीन मिलना चाहिए। हम लोग 5,80,000 वैक्सीन पर डे लगा रहे थे, अचानक वैक्सीन की सप्लाई बंद हो गई। वैक्सीन का कंट्रोल चाहे प्रोडक्शन का हो चाहे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का हो, वो भारत सरकार के पास है। भारत सरकार राज्यों की तैयारी के हिसाब से वैक्सीन का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सुनिश्चित करे, जितनी उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके हिसाब से उनको।
नहीं रघु जी, ये सवाल मैं इसलिए पूछ रहा हूं क्योंकि पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री डॉक्टर मनमोहन सिंह की ये जो चिट्ठी है ये काफी रोचक है, क्योंकि इसमें 5 ऐसे सुझाव दिए गए हैं जो कि सीधे सीधे वैक्सीन विकेंद्रीकरण की ओर इशारा करते हैं कि राज्यों को ये जिम्मेदारी दे दी जाए। आप कितना सहमत हैं इससे?
बिल्कुल इससे सहमत हूं, क्योंकि हमारी रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से को वैक्सीन नहीं मिल रही है, पॉलिटिक्स हो रही है। बयान भारत सरकार दे रही है कि उनको जरूरत ही नहीं है, हम कह रहे हैं हमारी जरूरत है। अब इसका कौन समाधान निकालेगा? सेकंड चीज, ये जो रेमडेसिविर है इंजेक्शन, आज इसकी शॉर्टेज हो गई अचानक। हमारे कुछ रिक्वायरमेंट है 1 लाख की है, ये जो 3 कंपनियां मैंने आपको बताई है इनको रोक दिया गया है। ये रेमडेसिविर देगी नहीं तो फिर लोगों को लगाएंगे कैसे?
बिल्कुल,
ये जो चीजें भारत सरकार के नियंत्रण में है वो। अब दूसरी चीज ऑक्सीजन की सप्लाई की बात है, उसको सारी को सेंट्रलाइज कर दिया है होम मिनिस्ट्री ने। हमारे यहाँ ऑक्सीजन के जो प्लांट है लिक्विड ऑक्सीजन के, उनकी ऑक्सीजन भी हम नहीं ले सकते। भारत सरकार ने तय कर दिया कि सारी ऑक्सीजन हम लेंगे और हम डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे। अब केसेस जो एक्टिव केसेस है गुजरात और राजस्थान के करीब बराबर है।
नहीं रघु शर्मा जी, एब्सोल्युटली। और ये बात भी है, जैसे आज स्क्रोल हैज रिपोर्टेड कि टेंडर्स वर गिवन, अक्टूबर में टेंडर्स वर गिवन फॉर ओवर 150 ऑक्सीजन प्लांट्स, और अभी हम अप्रैल में हैं, अभी तक those oxygen plants, the bids have not been given. Final questions to Rajesh Tope ji and Shailja ji. Rajesh Tope ji, this is a question for all politicians, that every time we see that politicians will announce temples, they'll announce statues. Statues, we know that Maharashtra, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, each one says that our statue, whichever local hero it is of, whichever local icon it is of, and of course we respect the sentiments, but we will spend crores on statues. But no crores are spent on hospitals, no crores are spent on training for doctors and nurses or healthcare workers. Now we have seen how bad it will be. Will India's politicians, will health ministers argue, fight, say we need that money for hospitals, not for statues, not for temples, not for mosques, not for churches. We need it for hospitals and schools.
Absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely right question you have pointed out or you have asked. I think this is the way every government should think of. The main emphasis, the main priority should be given always to the health, education and all the social sectors. Those are always neglected in every state and in even central government. So only in such type of situation we face such type of we come in such type of bad crisis. So one thing is very clear, our government, we have learned a lot that we should have henceforth always should give priority and should give more weightage to the health facilities, to the education facilities. And so henceforth actually in this budget also 21-22, Maharashtra government, our minister for finance and also Deputy Chief Minister Mr. Ajit Pawar, he has given a good budget amount to the state health department for increasing the number of hospitals, the center, even the facilities, the equipments. We are filling up 100% of the all the vacancies which were lying vacant since years together. So we are filling up 100%. 50% has been filled. Now 50% we are filling up immediately. So in this way we are going very strategically, and I look forward that in the coming days Maharashtra health facilities will be state of art and will be really the best.
Will they be like Kerala? That's my question. We'll come back to you in 1 year to ask you that. That's really the key thing. Sanket, I said the one woman health minister who the whole of India talks about always is KK Shailja ji.
Yes. Ms. Shailja, I want to ask you the same question that I've been asking all health ministers about vaccine decentralization. You know, when the former Prime Minister is recommending the same, where he says that the government should publicize what are the firm orders which have been placed over the next 6 months and how they will be delivered. And secondly, the central government can keep a stock of 10% and then distribute it among all the states transparently so that they can decide what their priority is. And they can also decide which will be the target group that they need to vaccinate. Like Delhi may have a different set of demands, Kerala may have a different set of demands. Do you think that,
yes,
and Maharashtra as
in
well?
high risk areas have more vaccines.
Absolutely. So do you think that, that the time is right for vaccine decentralization?
Yes, the question is that whether we get proper vaccine this time. And we want to save the lives of the people. That is the most important politics, nothing else. How much life you can save out of this virus. And in Kerala, we raised the slogan to crush the curve. And the most important weapon for that is vaccine, nothing else. And we are also waiting for the vaccine. Central government announced the priority group above 45. And our intention is to give vaccine for all who needed it. And in Kerala, the zero surveillance study reveals that only 11% of the population is affected by COVID-19. 89% of the population is susceptible. We want to save all that 89% by giving proper vaccination, but we are not getting proper vaccine. I don't know whether it is centralized or decentralized method is proper. If it is centralized, center should give the share the state governments need according to the state government's needs. We demanded 50 lakhs doses of vaccine urgently, but we are not getting that. So because of that, we closed some of our vaccination centers here.
The problem is that
we started mass vaccination campaigns here. I have one suggestion that not only the government sector, but also the private sector should also get vaccine. If it is in the market, they will purchase.
Very important.
But vaccine is not in the market. That is the problem. And central government is giving shares. If they are giving proper share, we are not opposing that, because anyway we should get the vaccine. That is the problem. We are not getting proper amount. And I hope that central government will distribute proper amount soon. Otherwise, we cannot save this 89% of susceptible people out of this dangerous virus. We are eagerly waiting. We increased our health system capacity and doubled our ventilators, doubled our ICU beds, etc. But what is the need?
No,
if a proper vaccination is not there, no result will come out.
We need the vaccine. We need the beds. We need the hospitals. That has to be our political focus. That has to be your focus also as voters, because unless people start caring about it, unless people hold their political representatives accountable, it's not going to happen. Thank you so much for sparing time on the Solution Summit. Rajesh Topeji, KK Sheljaji, Raghu Sharmaji and Derek O'Brien. Thank you very much. We'll take a quick break, but lots more after this, Sanket.
Yes, we'll be also speaking to the Assam Health Minister. Hemanta Biswa Sarma is going to join us in just a short moment. Please stay with us.